Hello everybody, I'm Giuseppe Basili, also known as the FibStalker. Welcome to this daily and intraday review. This is part one of today's review. And today is March the 6th, 2018. It's 11:30 a.m. EST time in Toronto, and this video is part of the FibStalker Asian Trading Service. As usual, I want you to stop this video and review and accept the disclaimer here. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Trading Forex carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Okay, so please stop the video here and watch the video. All right, so let's get into the markets here, and I'm going to start from the SP 500. The SP 500, you remember, has moved lower to trade at 25.27. Back at the beginning of February here, it was tested twice. The market moved higher, broke the back of the bears when the market moved above the all the way halfway back here, which never found participation. And then the market came back and traded the 26.59, and I mentioned that yesterday as well. Now, the other trace that we need to take into account is the shorts here. As you can see here, the shorts have held here. Shorts has been respected. This market has traded 26.59 and now has also traded the 27.19. It's kind of trapped between these two areas here. So a retest of the 26.59 seems possible here. All right, there was participation here from a larger time frame, but that has at least temporarily stopped here. Has been temporarily stopped by the 50% short. Okay. So now, if this market obviously continues lower here, has the potential to retest to 25.27, and we don't know if that happens. That's going to happen. It all depends on whether the 26.59 is going to hold. All right. So dollar index, we saw more weakness during the European session. We also saw the euro dollar moving higher. We're going to get into that in a moment. And this market has now tested the 50% long 89.52. Okay, so this market has been at higher highs, lower lows here, so it's in a consolidation that could actually continue on the downside as well. So we don't know that, and we're going to look at the other markets as well, and the euro and the majors to try to establish that. Gold has traded the 1304, and it has actually continued. It has actually continued higher here, and it's challenging that 50%, 130, 1332 here, and it's likely going to continue higher. Okay, so this market has 50%, a sequence of 50% long, and it's showing higher prices here into the 1397 and possibly the 1423. Silver, very similar, and it's actually catching up here. Had a strong move higher here, and it has broken this consolidation area, so we should probably see this market soon retest the 1698 area. Okay, so this was tested before. The market participated, moved lower, lower low here, and now this is the level that we need to test. And if the market continues higher, there is also the 50% all the way back 1721. Now this is a consolidation, so we don't anticipate these levels holding. Okay, all right. So Australian dollar, US dollar. This market has traded a 50% short of the 79.60 here. That has pushed price lower. The market was not strong enough to push that price into the first target. There was an inner measure move that traded from highs to lows here, and it brought price into the first target. The next measure move in this inner sequence failed, and we can see it here. Okay, so what this puts as it puts into the potential trade into the 50%, 79.49, and the level sorry, 78.49, then level 78.41. I won't consider that traded, and we will see what happens. This market could continue higher and test that level. Okay, notice that on the weekly time frame, this market is in a big range here, and the 75.86 could trade again, and this market could even continue lower into the 74.80 that never traded. Among the market seems to be the most the weakest. Okay, dollar index here, sorry, euro dollar here continued higher, and the as we can see here, it also broke the 50%. This market, it was in a range, as we can see here, and so this 50% typically do not hold. Yesterday, however, I also mentioned in the room there was a second test of the 50% short that actually found participation, but then during the European Open, this market this was the second test here, first test, second test. There's always participation at these 50% levels, and then the market continued higher. Okay, so the situation of the dollar index was not clear, and so the possibility of this market reversing at this 50% was there. So the probability was different than zero, and I mentioned that in the trading room as well. Pound versus US dollar. All these markets, they are correcting laterally here. Now this market has actually respected the 50% short here, and whether we trace it from the last high here or from the swing high, it's exactly the same. As you can see, the swing high traded to the pip. Okay, so this would suggest continuation lower in this market here into possibly the 136.12. So kind of the majors are a little bit mixed. Australian dollar very weak, euro dollar strong, pound weak. So the picture is not completely clear of what could happen next there. Okay, the US dollar Canadian dollar has traded into the 50% short that was tested clearly the first time here, 121.30. Let's not forget that this market has traded the 120.47 as well, a larger time frame. So the participation on the upside was actually initiated around 120.47. Now, the last month here, we have broken this move in a 50% long, the 124.64 that has traded, and broke price into first and second target. Around second target, we have been seeing some profit taking here around all this area here. Okay, and that was enough eventually to bring price lower. Now, the next measure move will be from highs to highs, and that level has not traded yet. Okay, so if and when that trades, we're going to look for participation at the 128.43 and a continuation higher. That's what we're seeing on the Canadian dollar, which has been strong throughout the consolidation of the dollar index. So this market could continue higher as well. US dollar Swiss franc, it has tested the 94.74 clearly here, pushing that price lower, but the 50% long at 93.38 also held. That has held that has held yesterday here, and is actually helping price higher. So that level has been retested here. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame from lows to highs. That has been tested twice here, and the market might retest that again or continue higher into 94.74 as well. So as you can see, also in the other majors that are trading with the dollar, the picture is actually mixed as well. The US dollar Japanese yen has had a strong move higher yesterday, and then it actually traded the 106.46 here. That's what we're seeing. That's where we're seeing that weakness, and this level is the 50% from the most recent swing high here. Okay, so this seems more aligned with what the dollar index is doing. New Zealand dollar US dollar also has strongly reacted higher. This market had a good and clear and clean and technical setup here to do just that. There was the 71.87 that has been tested 2 times so far, and the opposite measure move here found initial resistance, but then we saw this level being broken. Okay, so this market has a setup, weekly setup long, that has been respected twice, and so this market is positioned for a continuation lower. The 50% here has been tested. The high 73.10, 73.11. This has been tested, and that's why we're seeing weakness here. And we will see whether that is going to hold or not. We should probably see a continuation higher in this market now that the level has been retested and is solid. Second tests are dangerous tests. And US dollar, Singapore dollar here offered an opportunity during the European Open here around 3. This continuation lower here, and that can be modeled as either an extension here, lows to lows. Could also be modeled as an inner 50%. So this gives us targets below, and that would be the 31.44 and the 31.15. Okay, so this market is challenging the 50% here, and it has been in a range of 50%, never held. What we noted yesterday on the in the room is the fact that this 50%, so the 50%, let me retrace these levels. Okay, so here what we had is that bulls and bears have failed. Okay, the bulls have failed here, and the bears, they failed when they broke the 61% level 132.30 there. Okay, now what I noted yesterday is that the bulls here started holding and the bears have not held this price. So I was looking for a continuation higher here. The market came back into the this area here, and we will see if this is going to hold. However, the smaller time frame shows a participation in this extension that has targets below. Okay, and the second target is 131.15, which will bring price below 131.33. Okay, so still a lateral move. Okay, so what I wanted to see is actually a participation at the 50% here that would reverse this price. That didn't happen, which means that this price is still moving laterally and potentially lower here. All right, so this is the end of the first part of the review here, and I'm going to review also the other markets. And be careful, we might be seeing the start of the next swing move here, and there may be the possibility to catch 4-hour continuations on 4-hour, okay, extensions or traditional measure moves. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye now.